We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with some news regarding John Cena, and more so John Cena's take on no longer being a full-time superstar in WWE. As most of you are well aware, John Cena was a major part of WWE television last summer, during Cena's storyline with the Universal Champion Roman Reigns on Friday Night SmackDown, going into SummerSlam, but since then, John Cena has unfortunately been away from WWE, focusing on his budding acting career in Hollywood. And it is clear more so than ever before that John Cena's days in WWE as a full-time performer are over, and that in all honesty it's really just a matter of time before John Cena hangs up the boots from wrestling for good. Although we likely will at least get a few more special matches from John Cena before that retirement inevitably happens. In a recent interview, John Cena spoke a bit about the lifestyle of being a WWE superstar full-time, and it is clear that Cena misses that schedule to some extent. Here's what John Cena had to say on the matter. Quote, "I miss it every day, every single day, but I'll be 45 on April 23rd, and I was very fortunate to make it as long as I did with only a minor list of injuries. Nothing that has changed the trajectory of my long-term health. I'm strong, flexible, and in really good shape externally, internally. I think now, being a full-time touring performer might start to hit that point of diminishing returns, and I have to be realistic when I look at that." Now, lots of fans are hopeful that John Cena will at least be getting one more WWE World title reign at some point in the future to break Ric Flair's record of 16 World Championships to his credit. And John Cena only needs one more to break that infamous record, which would be a fitting end to John Cena's WWE career, though some want Ric Flair's record to remain intact for as long as possible. So there are mixed feelings when it comes to that notion of John Cena getting another world title run in the future. Regardless, while John Cena is likely going to be missing WrestleMania 38 this year, with multiple reports indicating that Cena is not currently scheduled to appear on either night 1 or 2 of the Showcase of the Immortals, fans should not be too surprised at all if John Cena returns perhaps much like last year, during the build-up to SummerSlam 2022, for another special big match. Because while John Cena's days in WWE are definitely over as a full-timer, John still has a few more big matches left in him before permanent retirement from the ring. Now, it's widely known that former AEW star Cody Rhodes is likely going to be making his return to WWE at WrestleMania 38 this year, but some new rumors regarding Cody Rhodes' WWE return have surprised some fans. For those of you unaware, one of our sources, Dave Scherer of PW Insider, put out this statement regarding Cody's likely pay in WWE compared to All Elite Wrestling. Quote, "I don't know what he is getting paid from WWE, so I can't say for sure if it was a mistake on his part, but my hunch is that he was making more in AEW. Plus he was an executive, so he was entitled to benefits as well. Add in 2 TV shows and I see even more money out the table. So my guess is he will make less in WWE and probably be in a lesser position, but he knew he was making a power play, and when someone does that, they have to accept it and could go against them if the other party, in this case Tony Khan, doesn't agree with them on what they're worth. Now if this is to be believed and accurate, then Cody Rhodes may be making less money with WWE following his return than he was over the last few years with All Elite Wrestling. But with the rumors of WWE planning to possibly reveal Cody Rhodes as Seth Rollins' surprise or mystery WrestleMania 38 opponent, clearly Vince McMahon and WWE officials have some big plans up their sleeves for Cody Rhodes, hence why they are seemingly planning a truly memorable and high-profile return for Cody, which is definitely good news. The hype and anticipation is definitely growing when it comes to WrestleMania 38, which is now just 3 days away including today, and WWE have indirectly spoiled arguably the most anticipated match on the WrestleMania 38 card, that being the title versus title unification match between the Universal Champion Roman Reigns against WWE Champion Brock Lesnar. Now, heading into this title match, many fans were pretty convinced that WWE were going to be having Roman Reigns defeat Brock Lesnar to not only retain his Universal Championship, but at the same time claim the Beast Incarnates WWE Championship as well, with the reasoning being that WWE want Roman Reigns, who's a full-time star, to really be taken to that next level after a career-defining win and moment like this, over Brock Lesnar, who's only working for WWE short-term and on a more part-time basis. However, what's really possibly spoiling this WrestleMania 38 match result, more so than just that fan speculation, is the fact that WWE have made it clear what they plan next for Roman Reigns after the Showcase of the Immortals, and who the WWE have planned to feud with Roman Reigns. According to one source, WWE are advertising matches between Roman Reigns and former WWE Champion Drew McIntyre following WrestleMania 38 at various events. And considering Drew McIntyre recently revealed in an interview that he intends to chase the winner of this winner-takes-all title unification match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, WWE may have secretly spoiled the result of this WrestleMania match, which means that Roman Reigns could in fact be the one walking out of WrestleMania 38 the double champion, as both the WWE and Universal Champion. Which in all honesty is really not that surprising, because like we mentioned, many fans have already predicted that Roman Reigns will be defeating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 38, and that it makes more sense for WWE to have their biggest full-time star achieve this crowning moment, over Brock Lesnar, who's not going to be around in WWE for much longer after WrestleMania 38. Regardless of Brock Lesnar's popularity with his new babyface gimmick, Roman is still reportedly the guy WWE are protecting and wanting to give these huge career-defining moments to at this point in time, which again is really not that surprising. Now for the fans who are under the belief that Shane McMahon was gone from WWE and going to be away from the company for any length of time, that clearly is not the case according to new backstage reports. If you hadn't heard yet, one of our sources, PW Insider, has revealed just earlier today that WWE are apparently bringing in Shane McMahon for WrestleMania 38 this weekend, although it was later mentioned that as of right now, there's no word on whether or not WWE plan for Shane McMahon to actually be featured on night 1 or 2 of WrestleMania 38 on screen, or if he's simply going to be behind the scenes and whatnot. If these new rumors are true and WWE are bringing in Shane McMahon to be around for WrestleMania 38, it's certainly not far-fetched to imagine that Shane will be utilized on screen at WrestleMania in some capacity. Otherwise, why would the company have him come back just to be behind the scenes, especially when Shane O'Mac still does have a lot of star power and could be utilized in some way at the Showcase of the Immortals. So nonetheless a very intriguing rumor, and more details will likely be revealed soon about Shane's status at WrestleMania 38.